Let's look at 5 free agent wide receiver options for the Vikings. Yeah. All right, welcome back to One Bar and Lupagus show. I'm One Bar with Lupagus. Free agency. I mean, we're consumed by the combine right now, but free agency is right around the corner. So we're going to be hot and heavy in free agency all week. And we're going to be talking about 5 potential wide receivers that could be coming to the old Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, this is the week we'll probably start hearing the moves the Vikings are going to make some money to be able to spend and get some of these free agents we've been talking about. We're going to talk wide receivers today. Before we do, be sure to grab yourself a delicious Liftbridge brew from your fridge, because I know you've already stocked up on them, and also hit up That's Badass Woodart. Again, drop hashtag badass, hashtag Liftbridge, be entered in drawings for our giveaways, which we'll have to do very, very soon.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, Liftbridge, you know what? They're even good warm. So even if it's not in your fridge, still grab it, crack that thing, and slam that puppy down because it's delicious.
Wow.
All right, 5 receivers. Here's our thinking with this one. We've already talked about the we've talked about the big name wide receiver free agents, and we know that, hey, maybe there's a chance in hell we sign one of these guys. But realistically, my thought is the Vikings are probably just going to look for some guys to fill out the bottom of that depth chart, maybe compete between the free agency and draft. I mean, are you really expecting any big name free agent wide receiver signings, Lupagus?
No, I'm not.
All right. So that's why these guys aren't going to knock your socks off, but they're realistic and they got teeth, just like Lupagus's shit this morning. It hurt.
I don't think there's any teeth in there. It'd be horrifying.
All right, fine. All right. Well, let's start off. And as always, comments hot and heavy. Let's see who you want the Vikings to bring in free agency wise. And if you say like Juju Smith-Schuster, I mean, it's not even funny. It can happen.
Yuck. I don't want him.
All right, here we go. Lupagus, this is your boy.
Yeah, Miles Boykin, 6'4", 220 pounds. Hasn't done much the last couple of years, but what I like about him is his size. That's 6'4"
never done
body.
Much. Not just the last couple of years.
Well, I mean,
Nope.
Well, I guess he had 4 touchdowns in 2020.
He had just
a little something.
5 catches.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are going in the end zone. I like his size. Looking for a cheap option, a big body to get in your wide receiver room. Here's a guy you can find in the bargain bin next to Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone. Great arm wrestling movie, probably the best ever made.
Tremors 2.
I don't know if he was hurt the last 2 years or just didn't play at all. Probably just didn't play. But Miles Boykin, he gives you that size, a big red zone target. Again, this isn't going to blow anybody's socks off, but a guy who can give us something that we don't really have, which is a big body out there.
He does got a big body. I remember when he was drafted, Lupagus and I had a bet, and I believe you won that one because he went much earlier than we thought to the Baltimore Ravens. And his big thing was definitely his size. And he was with the Steelers last year. And here's what my digging on Miles Boykin is he never saw the field, obviously, with his stats. He was looked at as a special team guy, and I mean, he's their special teamer now. And he still got that size. He's still young. I was reading that the Steelers, all their fans want him to even come back just to be a special teamer. Like nothing wide receiver wise was mentioned, but he's young. He needs a chance. When they traded off Chase Claypool, he got on the field more. Unfortunately, that did not do anything with his stats.
He's young and big. So he's got going for him.
Yeah, and let's remind everybody watching, the back of our depth chart right now, Jalen Nailor, Rager, Tristan Jackson, Blake Prohl, and obviously we got Jefferson Osborne at top of it, and Thielen is still there, but it's not like these guys are coming in to compete with these proven commodities.
Yeah, but I mean, let's go back to Miles Boykin. He had 3 touchdowns on 13 catches as a rookie, and then he had 4 touchdowns on 19 catches. So that just shows you that he's definitely a red zone target, and he can be that. And that's probably his role, what was becoming before Baltimore or whatever changed their usage of him, I guess.
Usage. Yes. And if he comes here and he has 6 catches and 3 of them are touchdowns, and he's our 5th wide receiver, hell yes on Miles Boykin. But we've talked enough.
The next Aldrick Robinson.
Hell yeah. All right. Next up, I'm going Noah Brown. Yeah. Noah Brown, Dallas Cowboys, 6'2", 225. We're picking some beefy wide receivers here. 27.
Yeah.
Had 43 receptions, 550 yards, 3 touchdowns last year. Noah Brown is not sexy. He is not sexy one damn bit. He's been with the Cowboys for quite a while, and he's just kind of played that role where he rounds out the depth chart due to injuries. He started 13 games this year, and you know what? He made the most of it. And reading up on him is, like I said, he's not the most athletic wow guy. Good blocking wide receiver, very good route runner. And one thing that I read, which I liked, was one of his biggest roles in Dallas was his route running. Like his sole role, his route running was so good that his whole point was just to open things up for other wide receivers. And that sounds fantastic. And he's going to be cheap as hell.
Well, I mean, look at those 43 receptions, 500-something yards, 3 touchdowns. He did that despite being both the 4th option, really 5th. I mean, look at, obviously, CeeDee Lamb. You got Michael Gallup there. You got the 2 running backs, Zeke and Tony Pollard. Somehow Noah Brown was still able to produce with those guys ahead of him. And I think, him and Cooper Rush kind of had a connection there. When Cooper Rush was the quarterback, he tended to like to throw at Noah Brown. And I like Noah Brown for the fact that, like, when I needed a cheap option in FanDuel, Noah Brown would always produce for me.
Yeah, he does. And he's going to be very, 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 very cheap. It's not like someone's also going to throw a bunch of money at Noah Brown. But I think he'd be a great 4th wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he was basically fed scraps last year, and he turned those scraps into a meal.
Well, Michael Gallup getting hurt definitely helped his stats there. And he
looks like T.Y. Hilton he had to deal with too later in the season, who came in and took some looks away from him as well.
T.Y. Hilton is not on this list.
No, he's not.
You know who is?
Who? Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard. He's 30 years old. My God, he's so old. 5'10", 210 pounds. Yeah, he's coming off that injury-plagued season last year. He kind of came back late in the year last year. But what I like about Sterling Shepard, you talk about Steady Eddie. And I know you like to talk about Steady Eddie. You look at what he did his first few years in the league. 65 receptions, 59 receptions, 66 receptions, 57 receptions, 66 receptions. He's not going to get you over 1,000 yards, not going to score a bunch of touchdowns, but you're looking for a guy to move the chains, provide, steady hands, a sure target. Sterling Shepard has been that good route runner. I think he'd fit in nicely here.
Yeah, Sterling Shepard. He's kind of like the guy that, just riddled with injuries. I believe even the last 2 years, and he tore his ACL last year, right? I mean, so he's even a guy that's probably not even going to get signed for a while, but he could be one of those late signees that you get your bang for your buck later in the season. And Sterling Shepard, yeah, I was surprised he was 30. I love that guy. I loved him.
Yeah, I'm shocked right now when I see that. I'm having a hard time overcoming it. But yeah, Sterling Shepard, you get him a 1-year prove-it deal and see how he does.
What's he going to prove? He's going to retire next year.
He's going to prove that he's going to catch 65 balls again. That's what he needs to prove.
Yeah, I mean, getting a seasoned vet like that, again, remember the guys I mentioned, Tristan Jackson, Blake Proehl, Jalen Naylor. I mean, we're going to have Justin Jefferson, and Osborne's definitely been around the block now for a little while, but getting that, we need that. We always get that seasoned vet. Help take a guy under his wing.
Yeah, why not? Might take a chance on Sterling.
Take a chance on me. Take a chance. All right, next up, we got Paris freaking Campbell.
Yeah.
Paris Campbell, coming out of college, his big thing was how fast he was. I mean, he ran a 4.31 at the combine. He went in the 2nd round of the Colts. Speedy, athletic, explosive. His big thing also, just like Lupagus's parts, is he is very raw. But you know what? It really didn't come to fruition in Indianapolis. And this year, he did put up some numbers, though. 63 receptions with 623 yards and 3 touchdowns with basically Lupagus playing quarterback for them. But again, he's a guy who's very young. He's still only 25 years old, and he's not going to command any money at all. And he's fast as hell. Injury issues as well. But Paris Campbell, come on down.
No, I mean, you touched on it already. The guy's throwing him the quarterback since he's been there. Carson Wentz, Jacoby Brissett. Just a couple of the names tossed him the rock. Who was that late round guy that you had going there for a while too? I mean, it's been gross. It's been gross quarterback playing Indy since Andrew Luck left, and definitely not helping out Paris Campbell. Who was he a 1st round pick?
I believe he was 2nd round pick.
Okay, but yeah, he's got the wheels on him. So this guy is definitely somebody who can stretch the field. He's coming off his best season yet in the league, so maybe he's finally just realizing his potential. You can get a guy when he's just really coming to his own here, Paris Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's just on the cusp. Bring him in. Just send him deep.
Favorite Campbell soup?
My favorite Campbell soup? Oh, that's easy. That's tomato.
You're right. That's the right answer.
It is right now. I mean, you get into the noodle. I mean, it's just gross when they start throwing that other stuff in there. Straight up tomato. But don't do water. You got to do milk.
Do milk. It's creamier.
Yeah. The instructions say water.
Nah,
gross.
Never. No way.
All right, we got a fifth one that Lupagus. I picked 3, so Lupagus didn't even get a chance for this third one. But and this is just, I mean, it's in Keelhairy. Again, 25 years old. Look at that big old beefy size, 6'4", 225 pounds, former first round pick, traded to the Bears this year, didn't do jack, 7 receptions, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. This is a Hail Mary type of signing. You bring him in, you see what happens. Again, like a Miles Boykin, he's better than Miles Boykin, but you're signing him for the size and what could be because he just hasn't put it together.
Yeah, but I do think Miles Boykin has more career touchdowns than N'Keal Harry. So who's better than who? Yeah, I mean, you go to the Bears. That's where wide receivers go to die. That's basically been proven. We'll see if Justin Fields gets better to fix that, but no, that's not where you want to go if you're a wide receiver. Yeah, why not take a shot on this guy? First round talent, big old body, big frame. I don't know. I'm not sure why this guy never really put it together. Did he follow the favor with Belichick in New England? Something must have happened there.
Yeah, he did, and he requested a trade, and he ended up getting traded for a 7th round pick to the Bears. What I like about him, he still seems like he really wants to prove himself. He's like, you know what, Patriots, F you, trade me. And then they trade him to the Bears, and they say F you back. But
yeah,
I mean, there was no chance for him really to do anything. I saw something where when they traded him, he went there and had a great game, and then also they traded for Chase Claypool, and then he went back down. So Harris, again, like pretty much everybody on this list, he's going to be a cheap option, a guy that maybe comes in hungry, and maybe you get something.
And we got to look for these crazy type of guys. He's going to look for bargains. He did it last year. He's going to do it again this year. So I think a lot of these guys fit that bargain market, the bargain range. So again, not a lot of money to be dumped in a wide receiver for the Vikings if they do even sign one in free agency.
Yeah, again, the whole point of this was just to backfill the back of this depth chart. Maybe we find somebody that can come in and contribute in this potent ass offense.
But yes, this week we should know something. I think some contracts are going to be reworked. We're going to figure out how much money we're going to have to spend, and it's going to be very, very exciting. I can't wait.
Will be. Let us know which one of these guys you would most want. If it's not one of these guys, let us know who it is. New rule. You can't just say these all suck. Give us an option if you got somebody else.
Absolutely. All right. Remember this, guys. In 2017, a 70-year-old man robbed a Kansas City bank, then sat down in the lobby waiting for the police to arrive, stating he'd rather live in jail than with his wife. He was arrested, but rather than thrown in a cell, he was sentenced to 6 months of home confinement.
Oh,